Will Robyn says, what if he's just a good-looking hunk? I mean, she gets whoever she chooses. You know what I mean? I'm like, I got you.
Hello everyone and welcome to Happily Ever Reality. Today we're talking about season 19, episode 9 of Sister Wives. This episode is titled Baptism by Fire. I am actually making the intro for this video before I have watched the episode, and that is because I want to make a prediction. I predict that in this episode, Meri is going to do something or say something that's going to be incredibly frustrating during the part of the show when she is talking to Janelle. Because I saw a little teaser for this episode, and in the teaser she wasn't saying or doing anything wrong, but you can just tell based on the vibe that she is going to try to defend Kody and Robyn in some way. At least that is my prediction. That is what I got from the teaser. Meri has a way of saying stuff that can be that's just very frustrating. It's like, how does she not see things clearly? Like, the level of denial she has is insane. And I was thinking back on the last episode, you know, she's sitting there with Kody and she's being so friendly and she's laughing. And then when I saw the teaser for this episode, she's sitting there with Janelle and it comes off very cold. I'm like, why is she smiling and laughing with Kody and then being rude to Janelle? I hope I'm wrong, but that is my prediction. But let's go ahead. I'm going to watch it and come back and do some recap and commentary. I'm going to recap this a little bit differently than I normally do. Instead of watching the whole thing and then recapping it and doing it all in sequence, I have just stopped halfway through the episode and I'm going to talk about the first half and then the second half. But I'm not going to flip back and forth. TLC does that thing where they'll jump from like one person to another, and I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to start out with Christine and David. In the first half of this episode, we see them out house hunting. You know, they're ready to buy a house. And this experience is a lot different than it was for Christine when she was with Kody. You know, he was involved in some ways, but not the way David is involved. Not in so much of the decision making, because David is giving Christine all of his attention. Kody was never really able to do that. So Christine is just getting a lot more from David than she did from Kody. Of course, Kody and Christine remember things very differently. TLC puts in confessionals from both of them. Christine says that Kody wasn't that involved in moves and decisions about houses, but Kody says that he was. He said that they had a lot of fun picking out things for their homes in Vegas. Christine remembers it differently. She said he wasn't that involved, and she found out later that he helped Robyn make a lot of decisions about her house. And she doesn't say it, but of course it's implied that finding out that information must have hurt her. That would be something that would hurt someone's feelings. However, I feel like she dodged a bullet based on the decor that we have all gotten to see from the listing photos of the house. I think Christine should be very happy that Kody was over at Robyn's house and she did the decision making. And since we've talked about Kody and Robyn's house, let's go ahead and move on over to that part of the show. In my opinion, the first half of this was just damage control. It was an attempt to make Kody look like he was a good dad. We saw it a few episodes ago when they had their family game night and we find out that Kody sits outside and I believe he said they played their guitars together. Well, now they're playing in the snow. I'm sure you guys thought the exact same thing I did. This is very staged. Like, they are trying to make him look like a good dad. And it's not working. We haven't forgotten the 18 seasons before this. But here's a clip of him outside in the snow with the kids.
Obviously, somebody's going to get a little bit of snow in their face because we're going to have some fun. Watch out! Ah!
So there you have it. They're out in the snow having fun. There is a moment where one of the kids, and I don't remember who it was, but they hit the truck with the shovel. And Kody brings up the fact that he needs to control his anger because he wants the kids to enjoy his company. So that's really it from Robyn and Kody. I don't even know if there was a confessional with Robyn in the first half. of this episode. If there was, there was nothing significant. It's just them trying to show Kody as a good dad. That's it. But you guys can let me know what you thought of that down in the comments. So the part of this that was actually interesting was Janelle going over to Meri's house. And Meri immediately knows this is not a social call. Like, there is a reason that Janelle is there, and she is right. Janelle wants to talk to Meri about the property. When Janelle walks in, they talk about how they haven't seen each other in a long time. Janelle says something about briefly seeing her at a wedding, but otherwise it's been a year since they've been together. So you would think they would like give each other a hug. I don't know. Some sort of affection there just to say, I haven't seen you in a long time. But there is nothing, right? That's just not the relationship these two have. When Janelle walks into Meri's house, the living room furniture is gone. So Meri tells her that she's moving and she's getting rid of some of her stuff before she goes. This leads to them talking about where things are with Kody and how sad they are that it didn't work out. You know, even though they're both ready to move on, it's clear they find this situation heartbreaking. Even though they agree on that, they don't agree on what to do when it comes to the property and protecting themselves. Meri was right. This isn't a social call. Janelle is there to talk to her about what is happening with Coyote Pass and the finances. So Janelle sits down and basically tells her that Kody is saying that he can't pay and they could potentially lose the property. Meri is clueless. She doesn't know any of this is happening, and we start to see there are some differences in what Meri knows and what is actually going on with the property and the family finances. I'm going to put a clip in here so that you guys can hear it.
I have been under the impression for many, many years that you're the one who's been the one that's been taking care of all the family finances.
This is something that has been brought up in the book and on the show. Janelle is involved in the finances more than any of the other wives were involved. But that has definitely changed. They talked about that. There was a point where they started handling their money separately. So they weren't all combining finances anymore. So Janelle's role isn't what it used to be, but it seems like Meri doesn't know that.
I am beginning to realize that Kody has been telling everybody that I somehow was controlling the money.
Honestly, the fact that Meri doesn't know this, or Meri doesn't know who is handling the finances, doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me that Kody is able to lie about things to one person and then the other person doesn't find out. None of that surprises me with this family anymore, because we know they really haven't been communicating for years and years. Even before Christine left, they were not all close. So I'm not surprised to find out that Meri thought one thing and it wasn't true. After this, Janelle suggests that Meri protects herself to make sure that she actually gets the quarter of it that she is supposed to be entitled to. But Meri doesn't see it that way. She doesn't believe that Kody or Robyn would treat her unfairly, which blows my mind, because that is literally the reason she is leaving the family, is Kody does not treat her fairly. He does not spend time with her the way he should. He didn't communicate with her the way he should. He didn't celebrate holidays with her. The only reason Kody will be fair with Meri is because he wants to try to look like he's the good guy. It's not going to be what he naturally wants to do. It's going to be to manipulate the narrative. Here's a clip of Meri, and you can tell she's in deep, deep denial.
Would Kody and Robyn really go into this thinking maybe we should get all of the property? I don't think that they're going to screw us over.
Yeah, that is definitely an unpopular opinion. So Janelle's trying to tell her she needs to protect herself and make sure she actually ends up with 1/4 of the value of the property, but Meri isn't getting it. And there's a moment where Meri says, tell me, like, I don't know what's going on, tell me. And I'm going to put the clip in here. When I saw this, all I could think is the math isn't mathing for Meri. She isn't realizing that she is getting less than 1/4.
Tell me what's going on. I don't know
You
what's going
are
on.
you are on one piece. And
right. You and me and Kody are on one of the pieces.
And you're on none of the other pieces.
I just feel like Meri isn't getting it, that she's going to end up with less than a quarter. But later on in the conversation, she basically says she just doesn't feel like she needs to protect herself. And then in a confessional, she says she expects Kody to be a gentleman and give them what they are owed. I just don't see that. Again, the only reason I could see Kody doing this is if he thinks it benefits him in some way. He's not going to do it just out of the kindness of his heart or to be a good person. There has to be a way it will benefit him. As the conversation continues, it's clear they're not seeing things the same way. It begins to feel a little bit awkward. I even picked up on it as a viewer, but then Janelle says that it's awkward. There's this moment where Meri gives a response to something that Janelle says, and I don't know why. It just felt kind of rude. I don't know if that's the right word for it. There was just something I didn't like about it. I'm going to put the clip in here.
Yes.
I feel like I better protect myself.
Sorry that you felt like that.
Let me know down in the comments if you thought she was being rude. I definitely felt that way, but sometimes I read into things too much. I just thought it was a really weird response, and the face she made when she said it, I don't know. I didn't like it. And then Janelle adds this during a confessional, and I have to tell you, I think Janelle's right. I think Meri might go call Kody.
I still don't know if I can trust Meri to not go right back and report to Kody about this conversation.
I don't know. I was getting ready to say I don't know if Meri would do that, but I do think she would, and it would give her a reason to get Kody on the phone. I don't think Kody wants to talk to her, but if she was like, Robyn, tell Kody I've been talking to Janelle, and I think she's getting an attorney, I think that Kody would pick up the phone and talk to her. That would be an in with Kody. And it annoys the crap out of me because I do like Meri, but she has not let go of him. And just thinking of how she was in the last episode, laughing and smiling with Kody, and here she is this way with Janelle, I just don't like it. But you guys can let me know what you think down in the comments. So that is the first half of the show. Let's talk about the second half. We find out that Gwen and Bia are having an engagement party in Flagstaff, and the family from Utah is going to be driving down there and staying. Janelle's kids will be there. Janelle cannot be there because she's heading to Maddie's house because Maddie is close to going into labor. So Janelle won't be there, but her kids are going to be there. David is coming with Christine, so David is going to get to meet them. Christine is renting an Airbnb. They're going to have a little get together before the engagement party so David can spend time with all of them. And again, it's just there's not that much to talk about. It seemed to go well. He talked to Janelle's boys. He met Savannah. It all seemed great. So the family get together, meeting of David, all goes really well. And then they're all going to get together again at Gwen and Bia's engagement party. I'm guessing the next day. At first, they say that Kody and Robyn are not going to be there, but something changes and Kody and Robyn decide that they are going to go. So it's finally the day of the engagement party, and the first thing that stood out to me was actually just the fact that they were getting tattoos in the living room while all of these people were sitting around and having the party. It was like all in the same room. Just felt a little weird to me. I've never experienced anything like that. So you guys can let me know down in the comments. Maybe this is trending somewhere else, but it's definitely not made its way to the Midwest. So I was surprised by that. But not really that surprised either, because Gwen kind of does her own thing. You know, she is true to herself. So I wasn't necessarily surprised that she chose to do that. We find out that Kody has a phobia of tattoos. They were revolting to him. And we also find out that Christine and David are getting matching tattoos at the party. So we're seeing how Christine has moved on from Kody. She doesn't just have a new boyfriend. She is going to do something that Kody would have never been okay with, and she's doing it with her new man. So I will say this about Christine. Even though she says these interactions are awkward with Kody, she also sort of flaunts that she's in a new relationship. Like, she doesn't hold back. Christine's like, this is my new boyfriend. We're getting matching tattoos. She just goes for it. I don't care. Like, this is one of those things, it doesn't bother me that she's this way. I think Kody hurt her, and I think she wants to show that she can be happy, right? She's a happy person and she can find happiness. You guys can let me know what you think about all of that down in the comments. Another moment that stood out to me was when Christine was talking to Meri. Christine asked how Meri asked Christine how she met David, and Christine said that they met online on a dating site. And Meri was actually able to make a joke about the catfishing situation. I'm going to put the clip in here so you guys can see it.
I found him online.
She stalked me.
I stalked him.
Better be careful about that.
Oh, yeah, right.
When they are talking, Meri says to Christine, "Have you heard?" And Christine says, "Yeah, how are you doing?" And it leads into this conversation where Christine is trying to tell Meri it's better on the other side. But, Meri's not there yet. Meri's still struggling with the fact that her and Kody aren't together anymore. And Christine is trying to tell her, like, it's better on the other side. And the thing to remember is that Christine is doing really well moving on. Christine has had a lot more time. Janelle and Meri are at different places. And we've seen this with Christine and Janelle, where Janelle's like, I'm not at the same place you are. And we kind of see this with Meri and Christine when they're talking. Meri's just not happy yet. There is this part where Christine is telling Meri it's better on the other side. It's infinitely better post-divorce from Kody, is what she's telling her. And then Meri says, I liked my side. And then Christine comes back with, I liked it too. I liked so much of it. You can just see they're not at the same place. And it's something that Christine discusses in a confessional as well. Meri's not at a place where she's happy yet. There is a moment where they hug and Meri says, I love you. And Christine says, I love you. I thought it was really sweet. I know that they may never be close and there's a lot of hard feelings there, but they do have a shared experience that no one else in the world, aside from Robyn and Janelle, those four women have shared an experience that no one else will have ever had. No one will have been married to Kody, had that shared on TV, watch their marriages fall apart, watch the family fall apart, except those people. So there's just something there that is shared, whether they like each other or not. Eventually, there is the moment where Kody and David must meet. There is just a time where it needs to happen. This engagement party is not being held in a big place. They're all sitting around a room, and not a big room. So there just comes a time where they need to talk. And Christine introduces David. She says, this is my boyfriend. I really did think that Kody was going to get through this episode without saying anything completely stupid. And then this happened.
I'm here with my shy and pretty wife, my one pretty wife, and she's shy.
So that confessional was briefly before we see Kody meeting David, and I just thought it was so weird the way he said that. I was like, Kody, this is such an awkward moment. Why are you talking like this? Why is he bringing up her looks now? And I am really asking you guys, why? Why do you think he said it that way? It just felt so incredibly weird to me, and I don't understand it. So please let me know in the comments what was going on there. So they finally are all standing there, right? It's Kody, Robyn, David, and Christine. And from my perspective, it went exactly how I would expect it to. It was awkward, but nothing bad really happened. I did find it annoying that Kody didn't talk more. He left Robyn to do the talking, and he even acknowledged in that confessional that she is shy. You could just tell sometimes they didn't know what to say, and David was trying to carry the conversation by talking about his kids. Robyn was the one doing the replying, and she would say neat. There were just some times it felt a little bit awkward, but I think that's to be expected. There was a moment where Kody did start talking, and he brought up all the snow they had in Flagstaff. But for the most part, again, it was just, to me, it was like normal conversation. I will say the part that stood out was when Kody asked David if he had met the kids, and Christine and him, are nodding yes. And then McKelty chimes in.
You've seen the kids, you know the kids.
Oh, he knows all the kids.
He babysat them by himself while we went and got pedicures.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have to admit that I really liked that part. McKelty's timing was nice. Later on in a confessional, David says that after McKelty said that, Kody's face got really red. So David was picking up on stuff there. But I don't know. You guys let me know down in the comments what you thought. It was just the way I expected. There was another moment in the show where Kody said something that I thought was ridiculous. But again, it was during a confessional. I'm going to put the clip in here.
What was interesting is David made more eye contact with Robyn and talked to Robyn way more than me.
Could it be because Robyn was the one that was nodding and replying to what he was saying? And Kody wasn't? I mean, I was probably giving him a hard time when I said he wasn't doing much of the talking. I watched some scenes again. He did, but it was Robyn who was always answering, who was giving the quick reply. It just felt like she was more engaged than Kody was. But that's my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think down in the comments. I don't think David was specifically talking to Robyn. I think it was a conversation where everyone was included. I just think Kody wasn't replying. I almost left this clip out because I forgot about it, but I mentioned earlier, just a few minutes ago, that Kody had brought up Robyn being pretty, and I thought it was just a really awkward moment. There was another time where Kody talked about appearances, and I'm going to put the clip in here.
Will Robyn says, what if he's just a good-looking hunk? I mean, she gets whoever she chooses. You know what I mean? I'm like, I got you.
Maybe Kody's really insecure, and that's why he's bringing up Robyn being pretty. Maybe he's worried about what David looks like. I don't know. You guys can let me know down in the comments. For the most part, I thought it went well. Or maybe it's because I just assume these things are going to be awkward. But I thought it went okay. I will say at the end of this episode, Christine talked about how she wished it was different for Gwen and Bea. But I think Gwen looked like she had fun. And it looked like Bea was happy. I mean, we didn't actually see a whole lot of them, but the fact that Christine was having an awkward moment and sort of dreading this happening doesn't mean that Gwen and Bea were. So I think she needs to remember that. It would have been better if it happened at another time, but when is something like this going to happen aside from birthday parties and weddings? You know, we don't always run into our exes every day. So it's going to be sometimes at a moment we wished it didn't happen. But it is what it is. I thought it could have been worse. But that is it for this episode recap. You guys can let me know down in the comments what you thought. Did I miss any big moments? Did Kody say other really dumb stuff that I left out? I thought I got the big ones, but you never know. I might have missed one. So let me know down below. If you like this video, I hope you'll click like and subscribe and come back to Happily Ever Reality.